Where are we going?
To see Nashville.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. I know you send me.
Just because I live in Florida doesn't mean I don't know about hills and turns.
How do you know about landfills?
That's offensive. So, on our way to Pancake Pantry, the historic location where I first asked Sarai to start dating me.
It is! That's right! On a cold, wintry day like
Send me. I know
Did you enjoy your breakfast?
oh, yes.
Now we're bopping around doing some other things, and then we're off to do other things.
send me. I know send me. Darling,
Oh yeah.
Oh! That's what you bought! Oh!
send me.
So we like had to stop by.
Darling,
I love it.
Oh, wow.
I did not see that coming at all.
send me.
So I just hung out with my buddy, Josh Walker. Now I'm gonna see if I can poke around this city a little bit by myself, without my wife. No big deal.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Honest to do. Send me. Honest to do. Send me. Honest to do. Send me.
So scary thing, I was out getting a shot with my camera and my hands were out in the cold and they were very cold. Very cold, very cold, very cold. And it hurt, it was painful. It hurt my hands. I mean, my delicate hands. Then, at a certain point, it started to not hurt anymore. And they started to go numb. You know, the one day that we come to Nashville, and it's the coldest day so far this winter. That's a problem, but I love this city. It's a beautiful city. People come to this city trying to make something of themselves, trying to get their name out there, trying to become famous. You know, I think if the question is how to become famous, I think the question in and of itself is a faulty question. If you're doing what you're doing to get recognized and noticed, then you will always be subject to the tide of public opinion. Eric Liddell was a famous runner and missionary to China. You may have heard of Chariots of Fire? That guy. One of the world's most famous runners at the time, one of the world's fastest. His family would always tell him, listen, don't forget, you've been called to go to China. You've been called to go to China. Don't forget your calling in your life. And he would respond to them, yes, I am called to China. But God also made me fast. And when I run, I feel God's pleasure. Martin Luther, the Protestant great reformer, said, a Christian shoemaker does not fulfill his Christian duty by putting little crosses on all of his shoes. The Christian shoemaker fulfills his duty by making a good shoe. Maybe one day we might learn to do what we do as if for God and not for men. Because once we do things for men, we find that we may not be doing the best that we can do. We are doing what will be accepted. We will be sliding by on what we know is necessary, but not adequate. God has given each of us a calling to do that something which He has given us joy in doing. Whether or not you get paid for it, that's totally separate. God's calling us to the highest of what we're able to do. Anything less is mocking that which God has put inside you. To know that what you're doing is not subject to the temporary small group of people existing in your lifespan, but that what you're doing is done for a God whose roots are spread in eternity and are not subject to time or place. See, that's our calling. That's what you and me, that's what we've been called to do. That is our lot in life.
Hey, you wanna fight? Huh? Take my hand. Ow, ow, ow!